Hello and welcome to Business of Machining, Episode 8. I am one of your hosts, John Grimsmo.
And my name is John Saunders. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How's it going?
It's going really, really well. I put up a YouTube video yesterday. I'm very excited.
We had an event here in town called the Shark Tub, which is a play off Shark Tank, but it promotes entrepreneurship here in southeastern Ohio, and these companies get up and make their pitches. And there's actually a lot of what I did in college at Babson and the entrepreneurship program, but that's my really lame excuse for having forgotten and then not watched your video. So I'm going to watch it as soon as we get off this call. What is there anything crazy I missed? It looked like you had a bunch of updates on what's been going on in the shop.
Yeah, it was a solid 30-minute update of just running around the shop. We talked about the grinding wheel and we showed the pictures of it, or video of it. Talked about our new employee, Barry, my father-in-law.
Yep.
So got to officially introduce him to the world. Yeah, we're crushing it and it feels amazing. And it's nice to be able to share finally.
Did Linda get you that new grit wheel?
It's been ordered.
Okay. Oh, that's right. It takes
as of
3 weeks, something.
Yeah. So a week ago it was 3 to 4 weeks. So it's in process, hopefully.
So it's funny though, because we excited about grinding. I just got our Okamoto really running. I dressed the wheel last night, and today I'm going to attempt to grind in the chuck. I'm really nervous though, because I don't want to take too much off because those chucks are so expensive, and that chuck has some life taken out of it. So I don't want to go, I don't want to take 5 thou out of it for no good reason.
Absolutely. Yeah, I guess you can figure out how far out it is pretty easily.
Yes, but like I'm told even that you don't want to put too much dicam or fluid on it because that stuff can load up your wheel, and when you dress a surface grinding magnetic chuck, you want a pretty open dress so that it doesn't load up, because you can't redress the wheel while you're grinding in the chuck. Does that make sense? So what could go wrong?
You'll get it.
No, it's fun though, but we've got to mix up the coolant. We got some QualiChem extreme grind. It's actually awesome. Like, this is a good example, I think, of entrepreneurship. Is I've talked to the QualiChem people a few times about our Haas and our water system and using the 251C that you use as well. And then I asked, can I use that for the grinder? I'd really like to have one coolant. And they basically said no. I mean, you could, but you're better off using their extreme grind or whatever.
Interesting. Yeah, we're using 251C on our surface grinder, the Tormac one.
Okay.
But we have a belt system, and we're not being really picky about it. It works great.
Yeah, it's funny. You don't get what you don't ask for. I bought numerous 5-gallon pails of 251C, and I said, hey, can I have a free 5-gallon test of the grind? And they said, sure. I think they'll do that for folks. So.
That's amazing.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we've just got a little fog buster hooked up to our surface grinder.
Yeah, that's got to help though, right?
Yeah, it really does. It, does everything it's supposed to do. It washes away. And
how's your week?
Ups and downs. Ooh. But generally really, really good yesterday and today, so that's awesome.
Good downs or like bad downs?
Bad downs. Without getting into too much detail, PayPal is really screwing us around.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's basically our main source of money coming in, and they're giving us a lot of trouble, so we're just battling that, and it's no fun.
Right. But that's tough though, because we filmed a video yesterday with a local, a friend who's a patent attorney. He's a pretty good patent attorney, and the pitch of the video was why you shouldn't get a patent. And one of my things was, don't spend, they're incredibly expensive, they're very expensive to defend, but it's also, don't spend all your time and energy as an entrepreneur focused on silly things like this. Like you, John Grimsmo, shouldn't have to be dealing with and spending your energy on this. You should be making awesome parts and working on your process.
Mm-hmm. And I would love to spend my time doing that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, nah, it's business. It's business.
Right. Right. I assume it's mostly because of the border? No,
it's mostly because of the pre-order that we did.
What?
Yeah, PayPal does not generally like pre-orders unless you can ship products within 21 days. And they kind of caught wind of the fact that we're significantly behind 21 days in fulfilling our pre-order. The customers are happy and they are completely aware of what's going on,
right.
But PayPal is not happy. So they have held a bunch of our money. Yeah, I don't want to go into it, but
sure.
It's a big headache.
It is worth noting, because when I got my first merchant account, 10 years ago, it was like rough and tumble back then, at least for an online business, compared to how easy it is now with Shopify and Stripe and even PayPal. That's better. Actually, I think is a law where you're not allowed to use a credit card. And this would maybe it's not a law, but it's an agreement between you and the merchant provider. But basically, you're not supposed to take credit card. No, I think it is a U.S. law. You're not supposed to take a credit card order unless you have the product available to ship.
I've heard something like that too, yeah.
I could be wrong, but anyway. Machine's running good?
Yeah, I had the mill running a lot, lathe running a lot. Ran all day yesterday.
Sweet.
And it's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah, actually, it's super exciting. We're sending out our first freight order ever, really, to be honest about it. So, fun fact, freight is really cheap. Well, no, so we send out these Tormach fixture plates for anodize, and we've been sending smaller orders because we have been kind of batching them and making sure everything's good as we get anodizing done and test tolerances and designs and so forth. But now I've got 300 pounds worth of them, and I was originally gonna, don't laugh, I was gonna send out 2 or 3 50-pound boxes just via FedEx ground, just normal shipping, because that's the dumb way that the old John Saunders would have done it. And I was like,
of course.
You know what? A guy dropped his business card off for LTL Freight. I should just call him. And so I called him and I was like, hey, I want to ship, 150, 200 pounds to, it's not far away, 100 miles away. And he was like, yeah, $70. And I'm like, are you serious? I was like, no, there's no pickup fee, drop fee, like blah, blah, blah. Sorry, $70 plus a fuel, 19% fuel charge. So it'll be $87 or something.
Yeah, but
he's like, yeah, call us by 1 o'clock. We'll be there the same day to pick it up. And now that he said that, we waited and ran a bunch more that we know are nailed down. So we'll have, 200 or 300 pounds on one pallet.
Right. And it makes anodizing cheaper too.
Right. Isn't it crazy?
That's awesome. Economies of scale. I mean, that's a real word.
Well, and obviously with a pallet, we can put we've got cardboard and packaging in place and then strapping and wrapping. So the problem that we had before with shipping was when these 50-pound boxes get manhandled, things get dinged up, which is unacceptable.
Yeah, of course.
Now,
yeah, of course.
Knock on wood, it's just forklifts and no problem.
That's awesome. So you got some real stuff going out now.
I'm excited. Hey, but I'd made a note on my list to talk to you about packaging because I've really started to think about it more. And I think you guys do such a good job with the delivery of your knife. Like when I got mine, it had the case, it had the custom foam with the logo, the spot for the oil. Walk me through that.
Well, several years ago when we first started making knives, I kept it cheap and simple. I ordered little cloth baggies from Uline.
Right.
And I used newspaper to package them and cheap white boxes. And at the time, I was so frugal that I thought it was fine. I didn't care.
Right.
Like, the customer's not paying for the packaging, they're paying for the knife. Right. So why would I waste my own money on extra packaging? And I was in that mindset, but that was the old John Grimsmo being broke and super frugal.
Right.
And I'm still super frugal. But now I realize the presentation becomes very important. Like, I put up a video of my old packaging a couple years ago, and I got a bunch of comments going, packaging is really important. It's perception, it's perspective right when you open the package.
Yeah, it sets the tone.
Yeah, I met this guy in New Zealand, Magnus. He's been crushing it with Kickstarter campaigns, and he's got a decent Instagram account, and really good guy. And he taught me a lot about packaging, how it can be very important. So now we have these, they're not Pelican brand, but they're basically little Pelican cases.
Yeah, it's like a super hard shell. It's really nice.
Exactly, with 2 little clips on it. And there's this company in California that is a distributor for them. And they have a little CNC router, I guess, that makes these foam inserts out of a pretty high density foam, custom fit and everything. So we had the model up for the Rask, for the Norseman, and we stepped it up even further. I mean, we're not the first person to make knife cases, but I think we're the first people to include the Torx wrench, high quality Bondus Torx wrench, and nano oil with every single order that we ship. More value to the customer.
No, it's 100% true. Like, it sets the tone when you open the box, to the point where I would say if there's a problem or a defect with the product, when it's just thrown in a bag with a bunch of junk, newspaper, you're gonna have a different perception than when it's that way. And so we were looking at Uline for some custom, or not custom, but for box size that would fit some of our fixture plates. And I was like, oh, that doesn't fit, but if we wrap it 4 times with bubble wrap, it'll be okay. And then I was like, John, quit this. Like, just go Google custom cardboard boxes. And I found this company called Packlane. And I just placed an order yesterday, so I have no idea if it's going to work out well or not. But we got custom-sized folder boxes, so they tab open. They look really nice, Yeah. Custom-sized to fit our product with our logo printed on them. 25 of them for $2.70 a box.
Legit.
Right? Like, why would you not? It's not even any different than Uline pricing.
Exactly.
And now it makes sense. Like now you're going to open this thing and it's going to be beautiful.
Right. So it's the frugal choice of, do you do the quick and dirty, just open the Uline catalog and pick whatever fits?
Right.
Or do you spend a little bit of extra effort and find a better solution that makes everybody happier?
Right.
You know, something I've been meaning to get for a long time is just simply a rubber stamp with the Grimsmo Knives logo.
Right.
And I've been putting it off for 3 years now. I've been thinking about it and I still haven't done it. But
do it.
It'd be great just to throw on the outside of the box or on the inside under the flap lid or something.
I demand that you buy that. That's a 20-minute project maximum to order that.
I'm going to write that on my list.
I just did that on Amazon. I bought rubber stamps through Amazon for less than $10. One of them has the for deposit only for our bank account, so I don't have to sign checks anymore or endorse checks. And the other has our return address for when I have to stamp our address on stuff.
They were custom for your name.
Yeah, literally, you go to Amazon, Google custom, bank deposit thing, and when you click checkout, it just asks you to type in your bank account info and all that. Couldn't be easier.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so I'll do that. Another quick thing we've been doing for the past few months probably, inside the flap of when you open the shipping box, we're writing like, "Thank you, Joel."
That's cool.
John and Eric. And I've seen pictures on Instagram and I've seen review videos on YouTube of people opening the box for the first time and they're like, "Oh, that's such a nice touch."
Right. Now they're going to keep the box forever.
Yeah, maybe, or put it up on the wall or something like. Yeah, it's all these little things. They seem stupid when you say it the first time, but then the second, third, fourth time, and when you hear the customer enjoy it, it's like, oh, yes, that's important.
I just didn't have that vision. I thought like you. I thought like the important thing is to get take our clamps that we sell. I thought the important thing was to get the clamp to the person, and now I'm realizing, no, you need to present it to them. Like the way we wrap it, the way we put a sticker on it, the way we put it in a box, like it's a point of pride now.
Yeah, it reflects your entire image of the brand, and everything matters.
Yep, I actually want to try. I was talking to Ken about this. Ken Spalding, a friend of ours that's a knife maker and a machinist down in Southern California who used to work in the packaging industry, but I think we're going to try to do a video series on machining a custom vacuum form mold, which apparently vacuum form companies don't care about using your mold. Like an injection mold company would never let a normal person try to machine a mold that they would stick in their press, but I guess with vacuum they don't care. So we're going to try to machine those, those like thin plastic things that like Girl Scout cookie trays. Yeah, I'm going to try to make a model for one of our products for those, machine it, and then get the trays vacuum form, which will look even nicer.
That would be wicked, right? And what a good video series too.
I think they're, I'm knock on wood, I think they're not pennies, but because we won't order tens of thousands or anything, but I think it'll be 20 cents a tray or something so cheap.
Okay, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it because you're you.
What?
Can you make your own vacuum form?
Yeah, you can, but I'm going to say this because you're you. John Grimsmo quote of the century: "I want to be able to do anything, and that doesn't mean I should do everything."
Yes, fair enough.
No, somebody was saying you can take the mold, your shop vac, and a heat gun and buy a sheet of the plastic. I don't know where you buy it from. I'm sure you can get it online.
Yeah, it can't be hard.
And you can heat it up with a heat gun and try it with a shop vac and just suck it down. But literally, that's like, I don't even, maybe I'll do that. I bet you I'll just set it off. But I'm excited. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, mold making is a fascinating thing. I've been interested in it for a couple of years now, but it's like, I don't need it. I enjoy the accuracy and the finishes and the tool paths and all that stuff.
Speaking of mold making, we had a guy at one of our CNC training classes last month who was asking about knife blanks, and we ended up having this conversation pretty extensive about, do you plasma cut, do you bandsaw, do you mill, do you water jet, do you laser knife blanks? And you know more about this than I do, but I know a lot about it just as a material prep perspective. One of the things we sort of talked about is, could you, and I guess do knife makers in the higher quantity do stamping? I'm sure they do, right?
In the higher quantities, like Swiss Army knife?
Right.
Absolutely.
But even like a Spyderco, they're making hundreds of thousands of those Enduras or whatever, right?
Right. I'm pretty sure Spyderco does laser. They have their own laser in-house.
Okay.
Laser, people are up and down. It does have a heat-affected zone that has to be cut off. But if you plan for that, which they obviously do, then we do water jet.
Yep.
I mean, the material comes, you can buy it in strip form, like Oliver Damascus comes in 2-inch wide strips.
Right.
So we can just machine that easy.
Yep.
But, when we buy in bulk, the sheets are like 4 foot by 8 foot or whatever they are.
Which means it's better for something sort of a gantry process, like laser, or will you always water jet?
I think so. I've had a lot of comments and people suggest that I think look into laser, but if the end result is the same and I know what water jet does for me.
The advantage of laser is just price, smaller kerf.
Faster, I think.
Well, sorry, price meaning it's faster.
Right.
Water jet's slow as molasses.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have a powerful enough laser, it could be really fast. But the heat affected zone, might be an issue. I don't know. I've never had laser work, so I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, we've some parts lasered out for us on a product, and it's crazy how cheap the company that does our laser work for us. It's like automated lights out, sheet loaders. Like they have batching queue software that just automatically runs jobs. It's really cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's cheap, but not cheap in a frugal, beat up your supplier way. Cheap in a like that industry is just. It's that model that I love. I was telling, so we had these first robotics kids from a local high school came to our shop 2 nights ago, which was great. And I kind of walked them through our history, and I haven't shared a lot of this on our YouTube, and I'm thinking about doing it now because I'm tired of the trolls wondering why we're successful. But one of the first products I brought to market, we made the first 1,000 of them on our Tormach, and then literally when we first placed the first PO from a real machine shop, it was for a quantity 1,000, and that's a very different process than if you call a machine shop up and say I want 1, and then I want 10, and then I want 30, and
which is the frugal way to do it, but
and there's nothing it's necessarily wrong with that, but it's a very frustrating process because it's so expensive and it makes you harder to make changes. Like I'm so glad that I have a machine now that lets me make stuff.
Yeah.
But at the flip side, I don't think I ever want to be the guy running thousands of something unless I can automate it, and so it was a great, it was a great way to roll that out.
Yeah. But I mean, some of the guys that we know, like our friends, are in that position in their job shops. They want to run thousands, Big batches are good. It's steady work.
Right. And the key thing is I have the confidence as the person who's made that. I know how to make it. I know what tolerances I care about, what I don't. I'm not over-tolerant in it. And I can basically order 1,000 and not stress at all. Whereas, man, I remember the first time we spent, the money, it was a 4-figure check to order, quantity 6 of something. And we were like, all we know is that it's going to be wrong and bad. We just hope it's not so bad that we can't use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were in a good position where you had your own machine, the first Tormach, and you could do all the prototyping and R&D and fine-tuning. And then once it was perfect and you had your tolerance specs, you already knew what was going to work and not, you could send it off.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it worked. Like it seems to be simple as it gets. But it was cool to talk to the first kids. I don't feel old, really, like in life, but then
normally, yeah.
You're sitting there with a bunch of 15, 17-year-old, and you're like, wow, it was cool. But I was happy for them because I didn't have a robotics club in school,
right.
and
I didn't either. No.
God, I feel like I would have fit in great in something like that.
Yeah, that could have changed both of our entire outlook on life.
That's true.
Early on, yeah.
What'd you do in high school?
I rode my mountain bike.
Oh.
Actually, no, I took 3 years of video class.
Serious?
Yeah, so that's where that started from. And I filmed my mountain biking. Like, we used to go out in the woods and just make jumps. And
what did you film with? Like an actual camcorder, like with mini 8 tapes?
Mini 8 tapes, yep, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we had Final Cut Pro, like 2 or whatever it was.
So you had to play the tape back to import it into the computer?
Yes.
I remember those days.
This was 98, 99 probably.
Right. Isn't that crazy how things have changed?
Yeah, so it's funny, like I did have a video background because I enjoyed doing that in high school. And there was nothing really else about high school other than ceramics class where we made, pottery, which was just fun and easy. It was like the write-off class. But yeah, high school I kind of, I did okay, but I didn't excel at anything. I excelled in math, I guess, but I didn't really take it seriously. Yeah, high school I just kind of coasted through it. I had my own stuff going on.
So you did mountain biking, not, because your brother does the BMX stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. I can't picture you as like a BMX gnarly rad dude like that.
No, I've always been against BMX bikes just to the core. So mountain biking, and I was into this biking called trials biking, which is, it's kind of like urban biking where you just kind of scoot around town and you can hop on your back wheel and you can jump from object to object, just a very slow motion, like from your back wheel to your back wheel.
Huh.
A very, very high balance, very high braking ability and skill, and I really enjoyed it because it's like slow motion. Mountain biking is you're tearing down the mountain.
Right.
But yeah, trials, you're going slow, and it's very precise, very precision movements, and a lot of skill involved. So I really enjoyed that. And I still do it a little bit with the kids.
I was going to ask, do you ever ride your bike anymore?
Yeah, I do.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've still got two of my bikes from way back in the day.
It's funny, I took William to his first soccer practice. I mean, he's 3, but soccer, I'm making air quotes right now. And I think like me, he's probably not going to be getting an athletic scholarship for any future endeavors, but it was super fun to like kick the ball around and start that. Like your kids are a little older, but like that's going to be fun.
Speaking of kids, when Clara was young, the first few years, I was like, I wasn't down, but in this aspect, I was like, man, I've got a kid now. I can't go off and do all the adventurous stuff that I used to do when I was younger and single and by myself. And then finally one day it occurred to me, I was like, oh my God, I can do it with my kids. It didn't occur to me for like the first many months of her life. And then I was like, oh, she just needs to get a little bit older, and then we can go biking together and hiking and all this stuff. It was funny.
That's amazing. Even having William, not to make it dull, but having William come to the shop is now fun because he actually likes certain parts of it, which is great.
Yeah, my kids do. Leif's coming over with Meg tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's turning 4 tomorrow. No, he's coming over today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so he's turning 4 tomorrow. Got a birthday celebration at school, so we're going to go in and
have
some cake. And yeah,
that's cute.
So I have a question for you.
Shoot.
From your vast YouTube experience knowledge, now that I've put out a video after 3 months of silence.
I wasn't going to give you a hard time about that.
What would you tell me to do? How should I grow my YouTube channel from this point forward? What advice do you have for me? I mean, I know what I could do.
Right.
I want to hear what you suggest. And for everybody else listening,
Yeah, so I mean, there's a bunch of like core things to YouTube that are important, and I think you know them, if not directly, you know them subconsciously. But good, decent video quality, decent audio quality. You're using that gimbal stabilizer, which is good because I think the bar has been raised, so people are less patient for a video that's super bouncy or whatever. But I think the number one thing is you have to do it consistently. Yep. And so pick a schedule that works for you. If you're not going to post every week, that's fine. Someone has told me that the YouTube algorithms stop caring about you if you only post if it's less than I think every 3 weeks. So YouTube kind of has this threshold, if this is true, where if you post within every 3-week period regularly, then they will look favorably on you for search results. But on the flip side, John, like your audience you're not, how do I say this? You're not looking to necessarily find new customers through, you're not looking for people to go to youtube.com and search for, the world's best knife maker and have you come up, right? You're more looking to like communicate with a sort of an audience that you already know or already knows you.
I'm looking to provide them as much value as I can, from what they like from me, from what they've expected from before. And
so that's what I've always thought is make it super easy. A tangent that I think is relevant to this. We trying to go kind of lean. I was super inspired by the Pearson Workholding Tour in California last week. And I was getting frustrated with myself and with Jared because I was noticing that the hex, we have a set of metric and inch hex wrenches for each machine on a machine cart. The machine cart is next to the machine. And I kept coming back and all of them were laid out, 2 or 3 would be laid out on the table. And I'm like, why are they not in their holder? Like that's where they go. And they weren't in their holder because the holder was like 3 feet to the right. When you turn around, you just want to drop it and pick up the next thing. And I'm not a dumb guy, but I've been doing this for 9 months like this. And then I realized you need to move it to the other side of the cart. That way when you turn around, it's right there. You can't put it somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the analogy here for you is you need your GoPro that's charged up with the SD card with the gimbal, and every second Wednesday or second Tuesday or whatever is sustainable, you always do this. I tell you to film 10-minute videos. You always film 30-minute videos.
Because I don't do them very often.
Yeah, there's 2 amazing things in life. Compound interest. No, seriously, like getting ahead in life in terms of being financially savvy like that. Compound interest and the power of small things. It's much easier, I do it now with my accounting. I spend probably 5 to 7 minutes doing my reconciliation on accounting every morning. That is so much mentally easier and task easier than batching it every week or 2.
Right. I find that when I ignore videos for a long time and then I start talking, I just have so much to say.
Right.
That it becomes a 30-minute video, and the past 4 videos or whatever, they've just been giant update videos, and I'm not really sharing a process, a product, a thing. So I'm really looking forward to doing a specific video on whatever it is.
You're overthinking it though.
Yeah.
Like you're John Grimsmo-ing this. Like you're looking to deliver so much perfection and value. Like just say hi. You know, I've never once talked to you and been bored. Seriously. And I hope the same is true. Like we have so much in common, and we're always trying to do new things and try. Maybe some of this is solved though by this is kind of weird to say, but this podcast. I've talked to 3 different people that I barely know that looked at me and were like, "Yeah, I've been loving the podcast." And I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
Wait, what? How do you even know about it?"
People are actually listening to this. And like somebody commented on Eric's Instagram picture about a fact said in the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "How did you know that?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching or listening to the podcast the whole time."
I haven't even like looked at the stats or numbers. And it's funny too, because it's also like, who cares? Like, as I've mentioned, like getting some of the trolls on our YouTube channel, it's kind of like, you want numbers because it shows that you're doing something right. Obviously, if I switched my channel to talking about German philosophy, everyone would be gone.
Yep.
But on the flip side, seeing the numbers isn't what makes me happy. It's my own desire to do this and share it with people I like and learn and inspire and all that, right?
Yep.
So if 1,400 people are listening to this podcast or 14,000, who cares?
Yeah, because it's just you and I talking. We do it anyway.
And it's there's 2 things that are true. It's not the smallest podcast audience, and it's not the biggest podcast audience, and it will never be either.
Right. And we thank you to our listeners.
We thank you to our listeners. Oh my gosh, I wanted to high five Yvonne yesterday morning. Last night we were driving to that event, and she's like, "When I get to work, be able to just say these are the 2 things that I need to accomplish, and if by the end of the day I've gotten them done, I need to like be okay with that." And I'm like, yes.
Yes.
I could hug you right now.
That's awesome.
Anyways, what are you trying to get done today?
Today, it's a kind of a half day because I've got Leif's birthday party, and I'm going to make more rasp parts on the mill, get that thing running.
Cool.
Might even make a few Norseman knives instead. Yeah.
Sweet.
Bring that back in. There's so many people that want them.
That pie knife looked good.
Yeah.
Was that a Rask?
It's a Norseman, and actually, that auction is going up today.
Ooh.
The podcast is posted later, obviously.
So,
but
sorry.
Yes. Yeah, but I did announce that in the YouTube video. So
yeah, that thing was really cool, and I also really like the number pi, 3.1415926. That's all I keep it memorized too.
And real quick, what are you up to today?
You know what? I'm actually going to kind of take it easy.
Ooh.
I know, it's okay. We had a local customer, or not a local customer, a local company come sort of tour our shop to consider sending us work. By all means, I take pride in what I do, and I wanted to impress them and so forth. But I also was like, I'm not gonna apologize for anything or try to be someone I'm not. There's actually quite a few machine shops around here, and we're different. We do the training, we do my own products, the YouTube channel. I'm not one of these job shops that you walk into that just different. And I think they were impressed by some things. I think they were pretty shocked, like that it's only 3 employees. And part of me was like, well, we're small and we're also lean. And by the way, modern machine shops, 3 guys can be running 9 machines. Well,
there's a lot of story and a lot of respect that comes with being so versatile when new people meet you. And I think that can go a long way. If they're just looking for the bottom line, they want the best parts and the cheapest price, then maybe you're not the guy. But,
totally.
If they want a partner, then... Exactly,
and that's kind of what I took it as, would love to do work for you if it's a good fit, and if we're not a good fit, like seriously, no hard feelings. Right. The high school kids were asking about that, like, 5-year, 10-year goals, plans. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 2 years. I do what's happy. I make sure I try to do things that also support the business. It kind of goes back to that saying of you need to be doing whatever you need to do to support the lifestyle you want to live. But no, I want to get those plates out to anodize. I got physical therapy this morning for the neck, which is doing better, but still kind of frustrating. And then I'm going to run some steel parts. I got one job shop job to do. I might try to leave early though to pick up the kids.
So that was your 2 things?
No, those are all doable.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow morning, I'm actually filming with our new video person she's been editing on her own, but I want to have her come in and start filming with her to see how that feels and works.
Right.
So I'm excited to try that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Sweet. Crush it, bud. Have a good Friday.
All right. You too.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.